How you doing? How you be? Present day top here, and yeah, this one is a little different. This is actually gonna be my first open commentary. So yeah, so basically the gist of this is you guys can ask me any kind of question and I will basically respond in kind. About, you know, whatever, whether it's fasting, whether it's skin loss, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, anything like that. I know most viewers start off things with like a bicep shot and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't think you guys are ready for that. You guys will probably evolve and get there, you know, through the open forum episodes, but you guys just aren't quite ready for that yet. So I'm not gonna, you know, spoil it. You guys will see that a little bit later. So yeah, so basically I wanted this to be kind of an open style, basically. So there's no scripting or anything like that. This is basically from my experiences with weight loss, with, you know, skin loss, with intermittent fasting, things of that nature. And as far as intermittent fasting goes, because the question is an intermittent fasting question, and I'll get to here in a second. I didn't want intermittent fasting to be my first video about, you know, how to intermittent fast, what it does, how to work at it, because I am pro at it by now. I've been doing it for a little over a year now, present day. And so I have gone through the ringer when it comes to intermittent fasting. But the way I approached it was I didn't actually start with intermittent fasting, you guys. I didn't start that until around September, April, September of last year. I just wanted to make sure I got my dates right. I'm sorry, not April, but September, August of last year. It was right around the time I started intermittent fasting. I started actually working out with weights in July. So that gives you some perspective of how I did things. I did cardio as soon as I started, which was in April. So, and that's when the open forum videos and the chronicles start. So to give you guys some perspective of time difference between now and then. I wanted, because I didn't start with intermittent fasting, so it didn't make sense to make my first video about it, because when you do intermittent fasting form, you really want to make sure you have a general idea of your nutrition, okay? Oh my God, my little sister. Yeah, I'll call her back. Sorry about that. So basically, yeah, you want to make sure you have a basic idea of nutrition. And you don't have to be like the best nutritionist in the world. You definitely don't have to be that, because I am far from that. You just have to have a general idea of certain foods that help, certain foods that hinder, proteins, carbs, things of that nature. And have a good idea of what your maintenance levels are, and your calorie deficit and your calorie surplus, and, you know, depending on what you're going after. And just have a good idea of it, because fasting, it's not hard to do, but it does take some dedication, and your nutrition is huge when it comes to that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the question. And it's a long question, so this is going to be a kind of a long video. So bear that in mind. I'm gonna try to make it as short as shorten it as much as possible, but we'll see what happens. So Lenny D writes, I love to drink 2% milk. I have noticed that it has a lot of calories and sugar in it, so I have been working to limit my consumption to about 2 cups per day. Of course, I drink a lot of water too. I don't think it could be too bad, but I assume it wouldn't hurt to get rid of it. What would you recommend? And then his second question is, please make a video about intermittent fasting and how it has worked for you. Mainly, how do you get over the feeling of hunger? I know I am not starving or anything, but it still sucks. So thank you, Lenny D, for the questions. Please send me freaking questions. Oh my God, we'll answer like all of them, every last one. Every time I put out a video, I can put out a question commentary as well. So please ask me anything. It doesn't matter whether it's skin loss, whether it's fat loss, weight gain. It doesn't matter. I've done it all, and it's just so much experience when it comes to weight. So just ask me anything. It doesn't matter, man. I've gone too far to mess up now. So hey, just ask me whatever you guys want, and I will definitely try to tailor this series based on your commentary. So any question you want, if it's a bigger question, obviously I'll turn into a video. If it's a smaller one, I'll try to answer it in the comments, and we'll just take it from there. So we're gonna address the first question when it comes to milk, and do I think you should reduce it, or should you get rid of it? What do I recommend? Okay, I'm gonna preface this by saying, you know, some people have certain natures about them. Some people have an addictive nature. Most people who are usually overweight have a certain addictive nature to food and things of that nature. But me personally, My nature is to shed. It's my defense mechanism. So generally, if it's something that I find or come across that's too good, or basically it tastes too good, or I find it detrimental to my goals, whatever it is, I usually kill it. Is that healthy? No, but it's been my defense mechanism and it's worked so far. But that's just me. Please, I mean, if you're not that kind of person, just don't do it that way. That's why I don't eat beef, and I also don't eat pork, which is probably gonna scare the crap out of everybody. But yeah, I don't eat beef or pork. Now if I go to like, a foreign country, I might, dabble, because, do when in Rome, do as the Romans, something like that. But normally, in just the things in my everyday living, I don't eat beef or pork. So mostly, oh my God, this is gonna be so long. Okay, so the reason why I cut out beef was because I was addicted to McDonald's. Well, you guys haven't, you guys haven't gotten to the video yet, but you guys should here in a little bit. But I'll leave it at that. It was because of McDonald's. The reason why I cut out pork was because of the McGriddle. So, I know that's a stretch. It's a huge stretch. I mean, we're talking sausage, and to kill pork entirely because of one sandwich. But, yes, it's stupid. I know, trust me, I know it's stupid. But back then, that's how I rationalized things. But you guys will see the video. It's coming. I think it's about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of you guys. So you guys will see it in about 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll leave it at that, because if I start talking about it, we'll be here for days. So that's why I kill beef and pork. Now, milk is a different nature. Now, I always grew up drinking milk. When I was a kid, I drank 2%, and I drank 2% all the way up through adulthood until I was around 19. And when I really kind of started wanting to try to lose weight, obviously until I was like, I'm 27 now, so obviously until I was like 26, I pretty much failed. But basically, I cut out 2% milk, and I downgraded to skim milk. And I drank skim milk the entirety of those 5 to 6 years, was just straight skim milk. And now, as far as milk goes, I actually personally don't drink milk at all. But it wasn't a kill mechanism like normal. Well, some of it was because I didn't want to eat cereal anymore, because I knew that I didn't see any nutritional value in it. And cereal does have nutritional value. It's just that for me, it didn't seem as a good enough fit for what I was trying to do and for the carb intake, as of right now. For right now, I would rather have oats or chicken and rice or tuna, things of that nature, instead of cereal. It's not saying that cereal is bad, it's just that at this stage in my weightlifting, at this stage of my weight loss, in this stage of my skin loss, that's just what I choose to do. So with the milk, I have certain recipes that actually require milk, so instead of that, I actually use almond milk. So if you do decide to step down, I would suggest you don't have to kill milk. I mean, milk is also good for you, and it definitely has, calcium and things of that nature. But almond milk and skim milk. Skim milk, of course, if you want to get rid of some of the sugars and you want to get rid of some of the fat, you definitely go with skim milk. It will be it will be an improvement over 2%. Now, if you don't, if skim milk would probably be the next step down. Now, if you want to go even further, then yeah, almond milk will probably be the best. Plus, you get that protein, especially if you're trying to go my route, where you're trying to build muscle and lose weight at the same time. I would just jump to almond milk and see how that works for you. Now, the only time I use almond milk is when I make like protein bars. So if you're trying to put it with cereal, I've never had almond milk with cereal. I can't tell you. I don't see myself drinking almond milk straight out of the box though. I've never really even thought about it. So, in terms of, almond milk, as a natural 2 cups a day thing, I don't know. I mean, you can try to see if you like it. If not, I would suggest stepping up to skim milk. Both options are good, but almond milk would be the best for protein wise. Skim milk would be the next step. you know, up, but next step down as far as the 2% milk goes. So no, you don't have to kill it entirely, but if you decide that you come to that point where it's like, okay, I don't need it, then that will be the next step down.